أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This week for our thought of the week we want to reflect upon a short but yet very impacting tradition, we can say, from the commander of the faithful, Imam Ali, may God's peace and blessings be upon him. And he reflects and he thinks and he talks about to us on the importance of giving in charity and one of the outcomes of giving in charity. Now we know that in Islam, as Muslims, as believers, we have multiple levels or forms of charity that we can give. We have certain forms of charity, an obligation upon us, which are incumbent upon each and every single Muslim, whatever they may be or wherever they may be. We all have obligations at a charity level, at a financial level, we can say, as in the example of zakat, of khums, for example. These are obligatory taxes, things that we have to do. But we also understand that God has also given us the opportunity to give forth in recommended acts of charity. We have sadaqat, recommended acts of charity, recommended monies that we can donate. And we have multiple funds that these can be divided into. Many communities have multiple funds in different names, after the name of the Prophet or any of his successors or any of the members of the family of the Prophet. All of these are basically within the understanding of acts of charity. Now, before we go into much more detail, let us look at the hadith, the thought of the week, from the commander of the faithful, where he says the following: people's terms, meaning their lifespans, are extended by charity. This tradition is very interesting. It probably speaks to us at a metaphysical level, not something that we may necessarily be able to quantify or compute using science and technology. The Imam is literally telling us that when people give in charity, when people engage in helping others, when people are working for the betterment of a society, that their lifespan actually is increasing through this act of charity. Again, this may not be something which can be computed, calculated, that scientists and somewhere in a laboratory can actually measure, but this is a reality that we have from the traditions, as we see in this particular tradition, that when we give in charity, when we give money, but not only money, but charity can be the time that we give to our community, when we help the less fortunate, when we do something to benefit somebody other than ourselves, as this tradition says, that this actually extends our life. And there are many stories in the books of tradition about this. We have the beautiful example at the time of Prophet Jesus, Prophet Isa, may God's peace and blessings be upon him, in which we're told that a wedding took place in his locality, and he was told that the bride would only live until that wedding night, that she would be killed before the next day would dawn. And so after the wedding transpired, the next day the people see her alive. She's walking in the streets, she's with her husband, they're having a good time, so on and so forth. And they go to Prophet Jesus and they say that you told us that she would die, that she would not live past her wedding night. And to make the long story short, Jesus, peace be upon him, inquires of what happened. And the woman says that, yes, a beggar came to my door. It was my wedding night. And I gave something which meant a lot to me, which had value to it, which I needed, but I gave it to the beggar because they had nothing. And so revelation came to Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, that this act of charity that was given on the wedding night by this individual, by this woman, by this new bride, that this was the means for her salvation, that her life was prolonged because of giving in charity. We have many such stories within our books. But suffice it to mention that we see that charity, not only does it benefit others by us helping them, especially financially, but also it benefits you and I directly. Traditions also tell us that charity takes away 70 tribulations that may befall an individual. And so as we begin a new week, let us also begin it by giving in charity and making this a daily habit and practice ourselves, for our family, our children. Let each and every one of us within the family setting take out even a penny a day, 5 cents, a quarter, $1 a day in charity, with the hope that we are protected and alleviated from challenges and that we can hopefully be a help to those who are more needy within our own society. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.